Good evening, everyone, and welcome to another episode of our Star Wars Out in the Dark. My name is Will. I'll be your storyteller this evening. Last we left off, there was a huge, urgent need to get off world. The Trade Federation had followed Edie to the system and was frantically trying to claim its prize. However, the Trade Federation also ended up bombarding the Republic base on the planet, and as such, one of the main casualties of that bombardment turned out to be AIM, Flid's wife, or rather, the infiltration droid that had been uh, masquerading as AIM herself was suddenly shut down as they lost signal to their source. Uh, as such, there was a very heartbreaking moment between Flid and what had happened. Um, they picked up Jix, Illis, Hattie, Krilla, the rest of the Shakti clan, and they took off, uh, trying to find a safe place to kind of regroup after Edie interfaced with the infiltration droid and saw a hollow projection of what looks to have been the real AIM on some kind of hospital bed who had been forced into a uh, comatose state with wires kind of coming out of uh, top of her head and bandages and the like. And then they and Dr. Shakti saw the Nira haze that they remember kind of walk in with other infiltration droids that were set up a little smaller to kind of represent his kids. How all of them had a shared moment with the fake Nira haze as well, where they doctored the photo that they would show to Flid later. And as this was happening, the safety protocols on the droid started to activate. They mentioned Nira haze to it, and then it let out an EMP blast, which kind of shut down everything on the ship, including Edie itself. Uh, and as it was wearing off from the EMP blast and its systems were starting to restart, a antenna protruded out of its head, forcing Flid to take a very dire course of action with no hesitation, I might add, as he extended his blaster hand and just took his shot and ended the signal being transmitted. Dr. Shakti, in a moment of realization and I think trepidation, reached out with the Force to see if anybody else wasn't who they were supposed to be, and ended up sensing three different life forms on top of the ship that weren't part of the crew. This is when they were attacked by Vesentine and two other commandos who had been tasked with retrieving Edie and bringing them back to Senator Grames. They ended up taking off and hiding in one of the cave networks in a valley not too far, where they scoured the ship for tracking beacons. They scoured Edie's body for tracking beacons. They found several, and leaving Vesentine in the cavern with all of the kind of tracking beacons on top of him to send the message, they ended up taking off and fixing the ship and making their way to Naboo. And we left off with them jumping into the hyperspace tunnel and heading to what might be a new beginning for all of them. Good to see all of you.
Yo.
Hope you had a good week. uh, so, you have 3 weeks of hyperspace travel as you make your way around the great kind of swirl of the mid rim. How do you want to spend your time? I know that Flid has kind of spent more time inside the engine room. Edie has kind of secluded himself to its room and kind of making its own progress with the Force. Uh, Something that Dr. Shakti can feel, but also Edie feels that part of this time, Dr. Shakti is also kind of reaching out with the Force and kind of pulling and pushing, and that just kind of the minutia of it. What is the day to day look like for the three of you?
Who wants to play chess?
Drox will play chess
Uh,
with you.
Okay, yeah. Whoever wants to play with me, I will play for sure.
Okay. Good.
yeah. Flid pretty much he's been keeping it low key, trying to keep to himself after all the events played out with his wife. It's been an emotional roller coaster finding out that she's okay, his boys are alive, but things are not what they seemed, and then he had to put her down. So he's secluding himself. That's why he's keeping busy in the engine room,
Mm-hmm.
learning that to fix the ship. Every now and then he'll do rounds to make sure everybody on the ship is okay. Um, he hasn't even cooking. He hasn't even spent time in the kitchen really. Usually that's his passion. That getting in there and bringing joy to everybody and Belly's happiness. But he's mostly been just Drox or by himself in the engine room, learning and repairing.
Yeah. Yeah. Cooking's not terrible. It is something that Hattie, Krilla, and Dana have kind of taken over. It is a sight to see the kind of protruding belly growing every day from Krilla and kind of dancing around as they're making whatever dish is being made for the day. What about Dr. Shakti?
You're muted.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I think that I would be kind of splitting my time between checking in on Flid and ED and like the rest of the crew, and also spending time with Aquila and my brother,
Yep.
family.
Aquila has taken a shine to trying to sneak in to Edie's room as often as possible. Excuse me. There's no malicious intent in there. There's just moments where Edie will be sitting there, kind of trying to meditate, and the ocular cavity, the ocular sensor will pick up movement, and you'll just kind of see this little Zalosian girl, kind of very much like a ninja, trying to sneak over. And 90% of the time, she just kind of sits in your lap, kind of mimicking whatever pose you're in. But otherwise, she has tried to open the leg cavity where the lightsaber is. Uh,
Right?
yeah, she has kind of tried to open the actual cavity where the crystal resides to kind of get a better look at it, to kind of be in its presence. What kind of security have you, if any, you had on that, or is it fair game?
Uh, for sure, it's like if she's coming in, like the lightsaber, I'm more like child safety locked on,
Hmm.
but like the chest cavity, I think it's more like if someone's coming to bother him, if someone's coming to bother me and like they're going to open the chest cavity, at least while we're on the ship, I think it's like if it's like the doctor or like Flid or Aquila, it's like, yeah, they can, yeah, they can open it up. They kind of know who I am.
I don't think anybody
Uh,
else has actually seen that the chest cavity opens. So I think I think
Yeah.
the people you named
Like
are the
those
ones that
those
would.
who know about how to open it can if they're getting that close.
Know that I walked in on them once with the ice cream situation, so I've definitely seen the chest open.
Yeah. And she, again, the 10% of the time that she's not just kind of like mimicking your stance, your kind of sitting pose, she will try to sneakily open the cavity and just kind of like sit there in the presence of who Edie actually is. Excuse me. And once or twice, she has taken to kind of shining a light into you to see if it refracts or if it does anything that regular crystals would do.
Have you found what you're looking for?
She drops the flashlight, startled. Oh no, I didn't. I thought you were asleep.
No. This is the third day in a row you've just walked in here without knocking.
Do you not sleep?
Not really, no.
It must be boring.
It's pretty fun. Because I get to walk around and watch everybody else sleep.
That's kind of creepy.
It's not creepy.
I mean, the way you
Open
said
my
it
door from now on.
made it sound creepy.
Lid holds a pillow. Obviously lying. He holds a pillow when he sleeps, and you still suck your thumb.
That's not true. And you see her pick up the flashlight and start to storm away.
So you can just look at me randomly, but I can't make little fibs about you.
Lying is not what friends do to each other. Just closes the
Sneaking.
door.
Someone's not getting ice cream.
It has been the majority of the 3 weeks, and all of you have kind of done the side things that you've been meaning to do, the leveling up as you have using your downtime, and you feel the ship drop out of hyperspace. Radio sends out a kind of not distressed tone, but a rather alert tone throughout the ship. To Edie, it is a kind of monosyllabic kind of whoa.
Are
Uh,
we all in our room still, or are we like on the bridge and stuff?
No, you're wherever you want to be.
Okay. I'll make my way from my closet over to where radio is, like the cockpit and stuff.
Okay.
I will head to the cockpit as well from the engine room.
Okay. The two of you kind of make it to the cockpit around the same time, and you see that there's a debris field. There's just massive amounts of chunks and scattered pieces of electronics. You can see that it looks, excuse me, like there was some kind of fight that took place here. There are definitely pieces and chunks of what looks to be a Venator class capital ship. So much so that one of the actual large chunks has in the bold kind of Arabesh the call sign of the ship, which is the Herald's voice. You can also see dozens of kind of Republic starfighters and different shapes of disrepair. It's transports. You can see the shattered husk of a Trade Federation command ship. And you can see what looks to be scavengers. There's ships kind of tearing apart the larger chunks. There's ships that are kind of just scooping up the little pieces. And you hear the comms suddenly come to life. Excuse me. And what looked to have been a chunk of debris kind of starts to move towards you.
So the comms are open.
You can open them, or you can let radio open them.
You go ahead, open. They're trying to reach us, right?
Mhm. Yep.
Open up the comms. Let's see what might be interested in.
Radio interfaces with the console. After a moment, the
Please.
it comes to life. Oi, use is anyone's alive in there?
Yes, we're all alive. How about yourself?
Here.
And
Oh, all right. You see it kind of starts to come down in front of Zatzek. It is this husk, this kind of jagged mishmash of metal pieces and odd ship parts here and there, but it has these two very long, very hooked kind of tines that come out almost like mandibles on a beetle. And you hear, this is the Vantuu. My name is Yakun Rintel. You need any help?
no, we are fine. This is chef this is Captain Flid, the Zatzek. Everything is good. How about yourself? Is everything okay with you and your crew?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, my crew is all droids. So we're okay. You
Okay,
say
good.
Zatzek? That's a weird name for a ship.
Um, not really, not really weird at all. Just leave it at that. Um, do you know if anybody else needs any help or repairs out here?
Yeah, we are you here to scavenge? Cause we've all kind of got coordinated areas that we're working on. Are you with
Not we
anyone?
Nope. We're not trying to salvage, scavenged. Nope. We're just passing through and came across all this, and I figured, looks like maybe there could be somebody who could use help or repairs. So, but honestly, just passing through. No trouble.
All right. I like the sounds of that. Oh, good to meet you, Zatzek.
To meet you, Vantuu.
You just see it start to kind of hover up and around.
Well, that was interesting.
Yeah, I mean, my experiences with other ships have not been the best. So I'm glad this one went very smoothly.
You hear the comms come back on.
Oh, man spoke too soon.
Radio patches it through.
Your radio.
A quick question, because one of my droids just brought it up, but did you just leave Vantuu 6?
No, that's a random question and very. Oh, that's. Oh.
At this point, I'm
well,
coming to the cockpit too.
Please.
Okay, let's have Flid. Uh,
Make a roll for dead ass lying.
yeah,
Persuasion.
yeah.
Persuasion.
I mean, it's not persuasion. It is dead ass
Straight fibbing.
lying, straight fibbing. So it's gonna default to your perception skill by itself.
We go character points. I got character points in case.
Yeah, I'm glad you have character points too.
All right, first roll of the night. Woo! 11. Enough, or should I?
Up to you.
Okay, you know what? Yeah. That I played enough games with you already. I know what that means.
Let's just micro jump into the
I
thing.
know
It's
what that
fine.
means. I'm gonna roll with character 2, right?
Yeah, 2 is the most you can roll.
And
7 more.
It's one character point or 2.
Let me see.
Oh,
Looks like
two rolls.
it's 2. Yeah, it's 2. So 3 and 4. Okay. So it's a total of 18. You hear the sound of like the shuffling sound of like a hand coming over a microphone. And after a moment, yeah, okay. Sorry it's just that, one of my droids brought up that there was this kind of weird name with a bunch of Z's in it. My boss is paying good money for anybody that finds it. It's all, no offense.
Oh no worries. Thank you for letting me know so I can be on the lookout for that as well.
Yeah, and then you feel the ship rock.
I'm just gonna start walking over to the guns.
Rock in what sense? Because we hit something, or are we being tractor beam and pulled?
It feels like something hit you.
Oh God.
Like
What?
two somethings have hit you.
Can I do a set? Can I reach out to see if it feels like anything?
I mean,
Of
yeah.
course.
Do you want to roll your sense to do what?
No.
See, like, what it feels like? Does it feel like someone is? Are they people? Are they?
Oh yeah, you can roll that. Yeah, make your sense roll. Let's see what's up. 17. Hot damn. Brandon's the only one that has the actual bad luck. I'm seeing.
Yeah. Always.
You reach out with the force. Edie can feel that Dr. Shakti is kind of stretching out the force. There's nothing on the ship. There's nothing that is alive that did that to the ship. And as Edie kind of excuse me, goes up to the ladder to the turret, excuse me, Auric is already in the seat. And you see him kind of
Wonderful.
he looks down at you. Should I start blasting? Because they've attached themselves to our ship.
I just like internal calm over to Flid. Ask again. Ask again.
Ask what?
And you just hear, should I start blasting? Because they've attached these things to the side of the ship. Kind of.
May not just yet, but position yourself. I'm gonna get to the bottom of this.
It's the pincers.
Yes, it's the pincers. I understand that, Edie. I don't understand this guy's confusion. Get Jukun on the comms for me, please.
And you hear, I haven't really gone anywhere. I'm still here.
Oh, what's going on? Why are your? Did you like a mistake crashed into us with your pincers?
No,
Or
no, it's just
no?
we ran the number. You know, we went.
Oh, you did. I see. Okay, hold on. I want you to meet somebody. Auric.
And you just hear the turret start to open fire. Yep. Oh, all right. So that's how you want to play it. And the comm goes dead. And then you hear heavy blaster fire being returned. And Edie can see the electric blue of the what's it called? The ion blasts.
Oh no.
And slowly you see several of the systems start to go dead.
Oh my
Oh,
gosh. We get
we're
out? Can
we're
we?
being held by them.
It's not happening.
I can't. Okay, so there goes that.
It's not happening. Everybody, please remain calm. Stay safe in your quarters. Rest of you, you know who you are. Front and center. Get ready for anything.
And you see, as you say that, you can see from the cockpit, and Edie can see past the kind of glass of the turret. The ship starts to move, and you start to see less and less of the debris field. And after a moment, you're back in the blue tunnel.
Hey, uh, I'm going to do something reckless. Okay.
Okay.
Cool. I'm gonna turn off their hyperdrive.
Okay. Roll your droid fuckery.
Okay.
All I know is that out of
40.
Oh,
Wow.
Unlucky? We were
Yeah.
saying unlucky?
I'm gonna
yeah.
get that force point.
Sure.
Oh, 40? Nah, hold on. Let me check this out.
40.
Yeah, 40.
Yeah.
And it's something exploded, right?
Yeah,
Explosion.
the wall that
Uh,
exploded twice.
Yeah, not our ship, that's for sure. This Vantuu is gonna explode right now.
And sure
Of
enough,
junk.
you see that the blue tunnel just suddenly washes away, and the two ships just start going ass over end. Just a revolution, like a ball kind of coming out down a hill. Everything just starts to like streak across the any kind of window that you can see out of. And there's a moment where the Vantuu struggles to regain control, and then you see that wherever you have dropped out of, excuse me, it is probably worse than being taken to wherever you were going to be taken. In the distance, you see this tragically beautiful sight. You see what looks to be a kind of white dwarf of a star pulsing. And there is this long, very sad kind of tail that is coming out and curling around. And as it is, you can see the temperature shift as it becomes colder and colder. And you can see it becoming like red and then yellow. And finally, it becomes black. As you can see that it is being sucked into this micro black hole. It looks like
That's nice.
this must have been a binary system, and one of the stars collapsed in on itself, creating the black hole, and now it's eating its sister star.
Have we unhooked from this ship?
No,
Vantuu?
no. The
Alright,
Zatzek
well-
and the Vantuu are slowly careening towards the black hole.
Well, that's the next system that I would like to try and target. The mandibles.
We hyperdrive?
If you want to tear your ship apart, yeah.
Yeah, that. Oh,
Great. Man.
Maybe it's not that bad. Maybe we'll just go to a new dimension.
rip apart.
Edie, what can you tell us about our situation, Edie?
It's not good.
No, Edie, I need more than just that it's not good.
Hold on. I'm gonna try and turn off the mandibles now.
Yes.
Go ahead and
24.
give me another roll. 24. Yeah. Ooh, boy. You all slowly hear the sound of metal crunching against metal as what you can only feel is the mandibles releasing. And as the Vantuu starts to continue its kind of head and tail spin, you see that you are no longer attached to it. That you are still kind of spinning yourselves, but in a different, very much slower kind of spin. And there's a moment where you see just this capital ship just drop out of hyperspace right in front of them, and these two tractor beams just shoot out. One
Gosh.
grabs the Vantuu, one grabs your ship. It is a massive pleasure ship. And you can see that on the side of it, in beautiful calligraphy Arabesh, it says, "The Empty Promise."
Feels about right.
And you all hear the familiar sound of like the comms being accessed. Radio patches it through to the open comm so everybody can hear. And you just hear this kind of deep voice. Well, I was told to expect that I would be expected. I can see now that maybe the right people weren't told that I'd be expected. Zatzek, I believe you have someone of interest to me on your ship by the name of Drox Shakti. Bringing you in to cargo port 9.
This is Captain Fleet of the Zatzek. I'm sorry, you mentioned a Drox Shakti? There is no Drox Shakti on my ship.
Well, if there isn't, we'll let you go and we'll be happy to pay for any damages that have been done to your ship in the search for this Mr. Shakti.
Who's this that I have the pleasure of speaking from the Empty Promise?
Oh, my name is Baxty.
Steve.
I'll be meeting you soon enough. Promise out.
Not a problem. Turn off our comms.
Mm-hmm.
Not a problem. Flid, what's your plan?
I'm gonna walk back over.
A plan is we're gonna hide your brother, and we will store him somewhere on this ship. I'm sure Jigs has to have hiding places in this ship. All the stuff him and
They scan. Can't they scan for his life signature?
that's where you and Edie come in with the Force.
Pull out my lightsaber.
with your Jedi tricks and whatever magic hoodoo you guys do.
That's not how the
We do-
Force works.
We don't do magic, Flid. That's not what's happening.
Sorry, I don't know how this works. I started out as a chef and now I'm the captain. I have a blaster on my hip. I went from using a knife and a wooden spoon to carrying a blaster on my hip. I don't know how you. I see you both do amazing things like bringing people from the dead. And you mean to tell me you can't shield your brother? Oh, this is horrible planning on my end.
Is there anything, any kind of like shielding that you can do with the Force?
You can try to shield yourself from other Force users. There's been rumors that during the Great Sith War, when Frieden Mad kind of rose up from his grave, that there were some Force users who could hide entire ships through the Force, but those are old legends. A power like that would be something that is definitely kept under close guard at the Jedi Academy.
Ike knows all this stuff, but Flid?
Yeah.
I enjoy the fact that we're beginning to lie our way in and out of situations.
That's another thing. I have become such a liar. I just did back-to-back lies.
Yes, after one failing.
Yes. What's gotten into me?
I don't know, but I have an idea.
Not right now, Aidi. Unless your idea can help us resolve this mess that I just got ourselves into. I just didn't want to give up Ox Shakti brother into this. I don't know what's going on here.
Well,
See,
then it's good. It's good that the idea was how to get us out of this.
I'd love to hear your idea, Edie.
Thank you. I was just going to turn off their sensors while we had him hidden.
That sounds like a great idea.
Like a great idea.
Or we just killed them all.
That sounds like a more complicated idea.
I don't
Yeah,
know.
The first one more.
Okay.
Let's stick with the first one and
Radio.
stick to the first one and let's hope we don't go to Plan Z.
Its little
And-
ocular protrusion kind of turns in your direction.
Two things. One, where would Marcoon and Jix have hidden a person on the ship? Two, prepare yourself for Plan Z at any moment.
Oh no, from Edie, that's not how it works. From Plan A, we go to Plan B and work our way down until we reach Plan Z, which is like a real last resort.
You just hear boo doo doo boo boo doo boo 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 boo. The first half of that is you could try to hide him in the same closet that the translator droid is in. Second half of the message is that the hyperdrive is primed and ready to go. He is ready to blow through that pleasure cruise ship if he has to.
We can hide him in it's just occurred to me your brother is in a wheelchair.
Yes.
We could hide him in the same closet that the translator droid is in. And the hyperdrive is ready for any moment.
Could to Shakti, get Drox, brother,
it.
and also get Jigs and find out if there's any other spots that maybe radio is unaware of. Besides that closet.
You just hear a sassy beep and boop, and radio kind of leaves the cockpit in a huff.
What happened? What happened, Edie?
It would be very rude of me to repeat that.
Oh. Man.
I will say, don't we have a wall that kind of turns around with a bunch of weapons on it?
We do.
We could hide him behind the wall.
He is in a wheelchair though.
We could hide him inside the Sith beacon.
That's plan B.
Wonderful. Let's go work on plan A before we're caught in the tractor beam even more.
Sure.
But yeah, you pull him down into the cargo bay, and you can feel that the ship has been brought down into whatever cargo containment that you were being brought into. You can hear the clamps kind of magnetically attaching themselves to the landing gear.
Okay. We hide him in that Sith beacon.
Yeah,
Oh, we're going to be.
I think that's probably our best bet compared to the wall with weapons, everything else.
yeah. The closet for the translator droid is just large enough for the droid to fit in. So,
Okay. What if we take
We-
the droid out?
I mean, then you would have to figure out how to stand him.
And
We
who?
can't turn the droid on? Oh, stand
No,
drop.
Drox.
Rocks.
Oh. Okay, put him in the beacon.
The cavity that the space dragon was in is large enough for a humanoid to kind of slink into. Excuse me.
A word on Jigs, right? He has no other special
No,
payments.
no.
Oh yeah.
I
Okay.
touch his hand and tell him I love him.
He squeezes your hand. He's like, I trust you. I just, I don't know why they're looking for me.
Don't either, but we don't want them to find you.
Go up to Drox after Shakti finish.
Mhm.
Or Drox. Get through this.
Yeah, it's just, gotta spend some time in a little hole. That's all.
If
I
it makes
wondered,
you feel any better, don't think about the dead dragon that was in there.
Right. There's a dead dragon in here.
you don't need to think about that.
Well, yeah, you say that, and then you say there was a dead dragon in this cavity, and it's just kind of like that's the only thing I can think of.
Edie and his sense of humor. Speaking of which, Edie, are you ready just to block the life scans?
Yes, I am ED57, Protocol Droid. I am going to assist you in every way that my master has asked me to. So only Flid can lie, is that what I'm understanding?
What
What?
was that?
What? I'm just going to stand at the entrance, and then I walk away.
That
You,
was a weird moment.
yeah. Who's gonna open the landing ramp? And who do you have gathered in the cargo room?
I guess it's just Edie, Dr. Shakti, and myself. Radio is in the cockpit, ready to put us in hyperdrive. If
I
anything.
mean, you think that, yeah?
Oh, he's not. Radio's by the cockpit, correct? Edie?
You kind of upset him, so I don't think so anymore.
Radio, can you please head to the cockpit?
Ooh.
A yes or no?
Was that it?
It was a very drawn out kind of teenage angsty. Oh, sure.
Radio,
You should apologize.
radio. I am sorry for earlier. There are a lot of stress with everything. And at the end of the day, I don't want nothing to happen to you. If they get a hold of you, they're sending you the scraps. I don't want that to happen to you.
And now you're even lying to radio.
It's a liar at this point. Wife lied to me, and I have become a liar.
And it's almost like Silas is already here. All these lies. Excuse me.
We've just entered our dark side arc. That's all.
That's it.
That's
But
it.
yeah, sure. You don't hear any response. But you imagine that he has to be in the cockpit.
Not in the cockpit. All right. I open the cargo doors and so I can greet Mr. Vax T, the empty promise.
Yeah,
Where is Aquila before we open the door?
upstairs. He's in the main kind of area. As the landing ramp comes down, you see what looks to be maybe the feet of four. What looks to be very modified Republic armor, like Republic Guardsman armor. And as the landing ramp descends all the way, you see two of them kind of step over to the two corners of the landing ramp. Two of them kind of step forward, look up at the three of you that are there. You see that they have these very stylish kind of looking blaster rifles. And then you see, as he steps towards you, the very nice kind of leather, very kind of well-maintained shoes, the very almost silk-like white pants that lead up, excuse me, to this very beautiful kind of also silk off-white shirt. You can see the little tip of a red kind of very vibrant tie. There is a matching kind of red, almost suede-like open vest. There's no visible weapons on this man. His hands look massive compared to the body, like they look like a boxer's hands. The skin is very pale, though, almost sheet white. It's a very interesting, almost non-contrast appearance, because you don't know, if it wasn't for the cufflinks on his sleeves, you wouldn't know where the sleeves to his shirt ends and his skin begins. And as the chin starts to come into view, you see this kind of very chiseled chin with this very thin kind of scruff of green hair. There's a very well-maintained kind of mustache. As the rest of the face starts to come into view, there's a very kind of flat and busted in nose from what looks to be years of just kind of taking punches to the face. And as the rest of the face comes into view and this kind of shock of green hair is just elegantly kind of combed back into this beautiful ponytail, which has this very nice kind of silk embroidery of a bow holding it back and over his right shoulder. The face is very familiar to Dr. Shakti. And as he comes into view and you realize who this is, he smiles up at you. Been a long time, kid.
Who is it? How do who do I recognize them as?
That's Ingo.
Go, my brother.
Mm-hmm.
What?
You see
Did
him.
that.
You see him put his hands in his pockets, and he's like, "So, where's our good for nothing brother then?"
For nothing. Why? Oh, I have so many questions. It's great to see you. Where have you been?
He motions to the ship behind him. Running this old thing, you know.
Why are you looking for Drox? Is he in trouble?
No, he asked for help.
He did ask for help. It's true.
I'm just gonna any sensors. I'm just turning them off that are like new to the ship. Like if they're bringing any sensors on, I'm just gonna turn them off.
Resign as captain at this point.
Yeah, he just kind of looks up at the rest of you, holds up his hand like a greeting. Nice to meet the rest of you. You can call me Vingo Vaxty. That's what I'm known around here as.
His name.
Rolls off the tongue, doesn't it?
But you didn't like your original?
It doesn't have the same punch.
Okay.
Captain Flid, Bingo, XD.
Can I do like a perception check to see if he seems like he's like lying or up to no good? Like I haven't seen him in a long ass time. Is he trustworthy? I don't know.
Go ahead, make a perception check.
I got a 24 on my computer roll, by the way.
Sure.
Yeah.
13. So Edie does kind of stretch out. None of the guards that are with him have sensors. The sensors in the cargo bay are just at the very edge of your ability, and it takes a bit out of you to kind of reach out and turn them off, but you do. And as Dr. Shadi kind of looks down the ramp at their brother, who now has like his hands in his pockets, he's kind of standing so that one knee is kind of slightly bent, but he is straight up posing, it looks like. Excuse me. Probably not for you, probably for everybody else that's kind of looking. But you also do sense like he's definitely hiding something. Just don't know what. He looks like somebody that has this used car salesman kind of vibe to him, like there's a shark there. But he kind of looks over at the group. How many of you are there? I might have enough rooms for all of you.
Room for all of us where?
And he kind of, again, motion, like he pulls his hands out of his pockets and kind of holds them out like Tony Stark. He's like, you're on a pleasure cruise. The Empty Promise is a cruise liner.
Oh.
Not a very promising name, my friend.
I didn't name it. I just took command of it. A gift.
The gift.
It comes with the job.
What? So I'm so confused right now. So why are you looking for Drox again?
Because he asked for help. I'm not one to turn my back on family. Even one that I haven't seen. Kind of nod to Dr. Shakti.
Look at Dr. Shakti.
Said it comes with the job, with the work. What are you doing? What do you mean?
And I'm in charge. That's what I'm doing.
Right, but how did you get to that point?
That is a long and sordid tale that is better left not on the open ground of where we are. Like I said, how many of you are there? And you see him, one of the other guards kind of holds out a data pad to him, and he taps it. It's like, seems like my scanners aren't working, so I don't know exactly how many of you there are on the ship, so I can't offer any rooms without knowing the right numbers.
Captain, need I
Alright.
remind you that we are on course for Naboo?
That is correct. We who have somewhere to be. That's quite important.
Oh. I got somewhere for you to be that's also important. But again, that's not something to be discussed out open.
So let's step into my chambers then. Common area in my ship, please.
I'd rather you come into my office.
Right. I would do that, being I am the captain of this ship. Dr. Shakti,
Doctor?
you like
That's a bold claim.
you are a doctor and one of the best doctors in my crew. Is that right, Dr. Shakti?
I think I'm the only doctor on your crew, Flint. Captain Flint.
I have no doubt. It's a surprise, is all.
You care to join since this is a nice little reunion with your brother?
Sure.
You give me a moment to speak to Edie, who will be left in charge here on the ship.
Cool, sir.
And I go up to Edie and I walk with Edie a little to create some distance so they can overhear everything.
Yeah.
Edie,
Yes.
find out with Drox more about his brother Vingo and if he did radio help. I'm gonna find out what this is about. If it's safe, we can leave Dr. Shakti's family here. Probably even Willa and Hattie. Anybody else that would like to stay here, and the rest of us can continue. Naboo, who wishes to continue to Naboo.
I will say I'm not familiar with pleasure cruises. I don't think leaving most of our friends here is a safe idea, but whatever you say, Captain.
That's why I'm gonna find out with Dr. Shakti. Now what
Okay.
you can from Drox and find out more about this pleasure cruise deep promise
I'll
on your end.
I'll figure out what I can.
Try to smooth things up with radio as well.
Sure. Is there something that do you want what's the code word for get out of Dodge?
Kitchen's on fire.
Okay, kitchen's on fire. Got it. And that's just leave without you or wait for you to get here?
Leave without us.
Kitchen's on fire, leave without you. You got it, Captain.
Question: if like, would Drox be able to hear if we were next to him while he's like in the beacon? Would he be able to hear us if we were speaking?
Yeah.
Not necessarily. Okay. And where is he in relation to where we are? Where is the beacon?
He's in the straight middle of the cargo bay.
We're in the cargo bay right now.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, ideally, he would have said something by now.
Right. So I'm gonna like discreetly say Wow, Indro, it's so good to see you. It's crazy. I haven't seen you in so long. I can't believe you just showed up at our ship.
You hear nothing from the beacon.
We carry on with the plan.
But yeah,
Walk and I leave Edie and I catch up with Dr. Shakti and her brother Axti.
yeah. But you know, the guards are very respectful. They don't get on the ship, and even if you close the landing ramp after they leave, like they give you the space to do it. They're not. Excuse me. They're not trying to invade the space or anything. But he does leave two of them at the ship, and the other two kind of walk with him. And he's just like, "Come along. I'll give you the brief tour of the ship. As far as this bridge, the way to the bridge is concerned, at least." And
I should have brought Barnaby. We can record this and relay the message to Edie.
but he leads you through several what looks to be just kind of large open areas, the faux kind of parks. He leads you through some kind of restaurant area. Get to see like some very kind of uh, specialized care areas, like for massaging, for kind of hair care, things like that. And on the bridge, everybody kind of salutes him.
And I tend to slow my step and get a little distracted when we go through the kitchen area, so I can see what food is being served and the plates, and see if it's anything good or great. What type of dining.
Yeah, it is the kitchen that you do kind of walk through is probably something that Flid would have never seen in his own lifetime. It is the size of the restaurant itself. Excuse me. There's like 7 different cooks, all cooking different things. There's one line that's just dedicated to meat, one line that's dedicated to like poultry, one line that's dedicated to just kind of fish and sea creatures, or underwater creatures. There's a lot of care that's been taken here for all of the preparations. Like there is a very meticulous and well kept kitchen here. And even looking at the few things that are being cooked up, you can see that everything here is at least 5-star. The portions are huge. They're generous. And even when Ingo kind of sticks his finger in what looks to be something like mashed potato, the chef nearest it kind of takes it over, starts to scoop it into a to-go container, and then has somebody send it up to the bridge for him, and they just start to re-prepare whatever it was that he kind of contaminated with his finger. Um, but yeah, he asks you if you want anything to eat. He'll have them prepared and taken up to his quarters. And as you walk past the bridge into a private kind of meeting room, excuse me, outside, the far wall is all window. You can just see out into the vastness of space. There's this long kind of conference table. He goes over to one side. He kind of sits at the head and motions. You just sit on either chair to either side of him. One of the guards is still in the room. The other one has stayed outside. He's like, now, what should we address first? You want my story or do you want my job offer?
Sorry.
Fine. Well, the empty promise is a front. It's a ship that is owned by my boss. My boss is over at the Void Star. We have it so that it looks like a cruise liner, which it is. It does house a couple hundred people easily, but it also smuggles. Be surprised how easy it is to get by some blockades when you have to get to a certain system by a certain time frame. Helps grease the wheels, if you know what I'm saying. But I came up like any other schmuck, fighting and clawing, fighting my way through the ring. Which, if either of you or anyone that's on your ship wants to take a crack at the arena, it's always an opening.
Eyes glisten.
And I'm pretty sure people will tell you that I am a generous host with my top contenders. But once I left Delosia, I think I always got in with the bad crowd. It was always easy to just kind of fall in line with whoever else had the best ideas. I was never a thinker. I think you and Drox are better thinkers than I was. I was just big for nothing. But here we are, and now I have to think. I have to be the thinker for everybody on board this ship. It's a responsibility I wasn't prepared for, but I think I have risen to the occasion because I've been in charge here for over a year now.
Congratulations.
You're a doctor now?
I have my PhD.
Congratulations to you.
Thank you.
Sure, our parents would be proud of you.
I'm sure they'd be proud of you too.
Yeah, that's something criminal. I can just see the smiles on the faces.
Question. Sorry to interrupt the family reunion here. You said this ship belongs to your boss, correct? Who's your boss?
They call him the solicitor. There's a council of people.
Sorry.
Yeah. There's a council of people who are at the top of everything, and they've got their hands in all the cookie jars. But we find that it's better to not pay allegiance to a name like Vingo Vaxti, and instead pay allegiance to a job, solicitor, title, something that carries weight, something that can be easily replaced. I don't know if the solicitor has been the same person the whole time I've been here. I just know that I answer to them.
You ever met them?
No, not in person. You only ever meet somebody if you're either going to be replacing them, or you're going to be replaced? At least when you get to my level. That's what I found.
I'm looking around as they continue talking around the ship, around the room.
Yeah, the one of the side doors opens up, and you see a couple people come in, and they just lay out a small kind of spread, foods from all over, traditional dishes from Sullust. There's a couple of dishes from Zelosia. There's just things from around the neighboring star systems as well. Now, please feel free to dig in.
Try not to look impressed, but I am impressed. Yeah, I don't think I can hide it either. I mean, it's food, and then just all this
Yeah.
fine dining food cuisines, especially from Sullust. Ooh.
Yeah.
I gradually make my way towards that table.
Yeah. And he kind of smiles as you go over there. He's like, if any of the Celestin food is off, please understand that I had to wake my Celestin chef up. So he might not have been at his best.
No, I'm appreciative. You went through so much trouble. Been had food like this in a long time.
Oh, my pleasure then. Better to grease the wheels
Wow.
then. Oh,
Start serving a big plate of food.
yeah. So the last time Drox came to me, I set him up on Beyond Till 6, which is out, where nobody understands or has even paid attention to. And now you can imagine my surprise when I got a message from him saying that he had to leave. He needed help getting to Naboo or places unknown to the Jedi. I'm going to preface this with I love my niece. She is what I hope to be the best of us. But I can't give Drox another free pass. I need a job done.
Good job.
Your crew willing to take up this job for him?
Without knowing what it is, no.
All right.
Possibly, are you willing to explain?
Sure. It's a simple smash and grab. In and out. Shouldn't be too difficult. I can even supply you with a fast ship.
How? Concerned. I haven't seen you in a long time, and I want to trust you because you're my family and love you. But you're clearly involved in some things that are a little messy, and while I have no judgment, I do have concerns that we might not be getting the full picture.
I'm definitely not gonna win any awards for Father of the Year. Yeah, I can agree to that. Excuse me. But my boss has laid eyes on an item that he wants, and whoever brings him this item stands to gain considerable pull at the table that he sits at. Whoever brings him this item gains considerable influence on the choices he makes moving forward. And the item he wants is the crimson robe of how is this pronounced? He kind of motions, and one of the guards comes over with the data pad, holds it up in front of him. Yeah, the crimson robe of Halishad Way, first god emperor of Kantoosh. Luckily, we know that it is currently en route to an estate on Bakura. It is a wedding present from one Burinth Gale to his wife to be, Jenitha Niminar. It's a kind of betrothal gift. Our boss wants the robe because it is an artifact of great power and a symbol of what was something great at one point, but it will also ruin a marriage of convenience and a marriage that would probably put us in a much more difficult position than we are already on the Outer Rim. So it's a win-win situation, you understand, for everybody involved.
I mean, potentially, but potentially not. You say that this is something that holds great power, and I don't know your boss, so I don't know that he's the right hands to be holding something of immense power, right?
Nod my head as I'm this whole time. I'm just nodding my head as I punch down on food,
Yeah.
and I'm still at the table. Just,
Yeah.
Not eating anything,
yeah.
by the way.
Yeah. He nods and he's just like, I understand. And I wish I could say something to let you know that those fears are unwarranted, but I did not get to where I am by being nice and shaking hands. I got here by being callous and rough and breaking hands.
So, what about a different proposition? What if I, uh, take over your responsibilities of the ship while you go and get the robe? And then when you come back, of course, I will be on my way and you can, have your ship back.
Oh, how can I say no to such a grand proposition? Could I see myself leaving a position of power where I have everything delivered at my beck and call to go do some grimy, first rate job that I could have gotten somebody else to do? Oh, I'm gonna have to say no.
mm. You're supposed to be family, though, right? Mm, just pointing that out.
So
Family.
yeah, why does this person that you want to, if you can find anyone to do this first rate crappy job, why does it have to be your brother you care about?
It doesn't have to be him, just that he has brought me this crew of what looked to be questionable people. And I thought maybe you could stand to win something. I mean, if the work is not to your liking, and you don't want to get in good with the Void Star, I understand completely. Leave Drox and his family here with me. I'll take care of them.
What did it feel like? Can I do a perception check on that specifically? I'll take care of them. Like, ask him, what do you mean by take care of them? And then do a perception check on his answer.
Yeah, sure. Go ahead. what you get.
Okay. If I want to add character points, do I do that before or after?
After.
Ooh. Okay. I'm gonna add character points just because
Okay.
I want to be extra careful.
Sure.
So
Remember, you can only use up to 2.
2. Okay. 2.
More. Okay. Mark off your character points.
I just did.
You get the impression that he probably will take care of Drox as best as possible, but he probably won't stick his neck out for Dana or Aquila.
Yikes.
While you think about that, we'll shift back over to the Zatsek. What is Edie up to as they left?
Like the second they leave, I'm just gonna walk over to the beacon. It's like, hello.
You see him through the little gash that you've cut through with your lightsaber. He kind of like peeks out at you. You gone?
Sort of.
Can I be removed from this thing then?
Suppose? Yes.
I appreciate that.
Yes. Help him get out.
See him kind of massaging his legs as he sits back down in the repulsor lift chair.
So, what's the story with your brother?
He's changed since we were kids. He's dangerous now, and I don't particularly want Keela to see that part of her life.
And why did you reach out to him?
I didn't think I had a choice.
I can understand you on that front. Well, I suppose at this moment we're just playing a waiting game. Is there any other information that you're privy to?
Pause, what?
Well, in regards to the pleasure cruise that we are currently docked in, your family tree, that's all I really have right now,
I mean,
question-wise.
I didn't know he was in charge of a pleasure cruise. You know, that's news to me. I mean, I don't know if they've told you, but Silas is part of a pair of triplets. And
And
Drox.
you're not one of them.
No, me and Ingo, we were the eldest, so we were usually the ones that kind of kept an eye out on everybody. But we also weren't like the angels that we should have been. You know what I mean?
I have an idea. So there's 5 of you total.
Yeah.
And only the doctor was force sensitive?
We didn't think anybody was gifted.
Mm-hmm.
We thought it might have skipped a generation. Excuse me. There's stories that maybe a grandfather of ours had a gift. Where?
I see.
But we never really talked about that side of the family.
See, I see. Well, we're currently in a very interesting predicament.
Well, I apologize to Fled about it.
It's all right. I don't think there's an overall issue. If we're lucky, Flid will be able to manage a good lie. Or they'll tell the truth about you being here. As long as they don't want to kill you, it'll be fine. If they do want to kill you, I will kill them back. It's all right.
He kind of smiles weakly, and he's just like, I don't think Ingo wants to kill me.
That's good.
You won't have to kill anyone.
That's also good.
I think. But he's also not the kind of guy that just let something go free. He's always got make something, what's in it for me kind of guy.
I see.
For me asking for help might come at a price.
Well, I'm sure you don't have to accept the offer if you don't want to. But then again, do you want to? This is you and your family. At the end of the day, the doctor, Flid, and myself are merely passerbys on the journey of you and your family.
Just want to keep my daughter safe is all.
I see. Well, I think you're doing a very fine job of that.
It doesn't feel like it sometimes.
Well, being a parent is tough. Or at least so I've heard. You may not think it is the easiest thing. Sometimes you may think your children were assassinated by Republic troopers, and then you find out they weren't assassinated by Republic troopers. And then you think that maybe they are assassinated by Republic troopers, and now you're in a very gray area in regards to your children and the Republic.
He looks at you. He's just like, how is that supposed to help exactly?
I've only ever really been around one parent, and it is Flid and then yourself. So that is the extent of my knowledge on parenthood. And from what I've seen, it's not very easy.
Right. Yeah, you could have stopped there and not gone
On
into
the
the
bright
whole
side,
story.
your family hasn't been assassinated by Republic troopers.
Yep.
So you're already in a win.
Yeah. Yeah, let's call it a day for today. That's enough. You see him just kind of start to roll towards the elevator.
All right. I'll just stay here, I guess.
And he just holds up his hand.
Was it something I said?
No, don't let it bother you.
Okay.
He gets into
All
the
right.
elevator and goes away. Come back to letting Dr. Shakti. Excuse me. But yeah, Ingo just kind of looks over. He's like, hey, just leave them with me. I'll take care of them. Least I can do for family. You're submitted.
Did it again.
Yeah.
Well, they're not currently with us. We're in communication with them. I will reach out and let Drox know the offer. And I appreciate you being willing to look out for him and Aquila. Yeah, I guess we will be in communication.
All right. Well, let me take care of some things out here, and I will be right back to escort you back to your ship. And you see him kind of get up, go out with the one guard that was there. Leaves the two of you alone.
Oh man.
You don't like it? You haven't even tried anything. This is really good stuff, Dr. Shakti.
It's good. Yeah.
Yes. I could honestly say I still have not perfected my craft. I've been so caught up and busy. But this is, mm, you gotta try this. This is really good.
I'm really glad you're enjoying it, Flid. For the purpose of safety, I think it's probably wise that one of us doesn't consume any of the items that were given to us.
It's just I'm nervous. I'm stressed.
I understand, and no
I've been on
judgment.
I've been on an emotional roller coaster lately, and like I'm eating away my emotions right now. Plus,
Yeah.
there's oh, my ears start to wiggle. Oh, it has a nice little kick.
Outside, you see the blue tunnel of hyperspace en-
No!
envelop the ship.
No!
Um,
No!
I think I started packing some of the food as much as I can. I think it's time we make our way back to our ship and get going. I get on the comm, Edie.
Yes.
The kitchen's about to be on fire. Dr. Shakti and I are heading.
Wait, is it on fire or is it not on fire?
It's about to be on fire. When we get there, it will be on fire. We're on our way.
I think we need to have a conversation about it's about to go down terms.
Yeah,
I'm confused as to how you think that we're getting on our ship when we just entered hyperspace.
because the ship is on the ship.
Oh, we're attached to it. Okay. Okay.
It's in a cargo hold.
Got it.
Yeah.
Uh,
Shall we, Dr. Shakti?
but the second that Flid's communication ends, Edie, you hear these very small kind of bursts, and you just hear the heavy hit of the landing ramp coming down. And you see just a cadre of troopers come running up, weapons drawn.
Oh, great. This guy Edie's gonna go more into the dark side.
Hello, can I help you?
The hood going on.
One of them motions, the other one nods, and it just trains its rifle on you. On the ground, droid.
Oh, all right. Oh. How many of them are there?
8.
8?
8. With more
Oh,
outside.
I know what I'm out of. Well, I'm gun. I'm on the ground.
Okay. You see one of them come over, and you feel something clamp onto your body, and then all of the functions are frozen on the droid.
Oh my god.
You still have your ocular ability, you can still hear, you can still talk, but you know that it is a restraining bolt.
Wonderful.
They leave 3 of the guards down here with you in the containment field, in the cargo, and then the rest of them roll up stairs. The other 2 see Ingo come in. He's got a data pad on him, and he's like, I hope you don't mind. I'm just taking us into our next venture ahead of schedule. How's the food, by the way? Could I tell my Sulliston chef that he has done a good job, or do I need to eject him from the airlock?
Say we do mind. I don't like that we're just all of a sudden in hyperspace. You left us to take care of something, and now all of a sudden we're being held captive.
Oh no, you're not being held captive. I can easily just eject your ship into the hyperspace tunnel, and you can. I mean, I can easily take you to it, and then leave you at the mercy of whatever is outside this hyperspace tunnel. I have no qualms with that. Come on.
You're muted.
Yeah, please take us to our ship. We would like to our ship and leave.
Sure. And he starts to walk you down, and every business you pass, you see an extra guard start to kind of follow you in the group until there's a good dozen of them behind you. And as he takes you back through like the restaurant district, you see that the restaurants that were there are now closed. All of the windows and displays that were kind of showing you what to get at each of the restaurants now have just a kind of what's it called? A carousel of images of wanted posters from Bespin of your entire group.
Oh my god. Ingo, what are you doing?
Oh, I'm not doing anything in particular. I'm just like course for Coruscant is all.
This is not how you treat family.
Yeah. Nice welcome. I haven't seen you in years, and you're gonna kick.
I'm gonna do what's right for my niece and make sure that the Jedi have the newest member, and then I want to see what happens when I let them know that I might have in my possession some criminals from Bespin.
Andrew, how could you do that to your family?
How can you do that to your family? This is a smuggling ship too.
I mean, whatever I said to you is clearly something said under duress. I have papers. I can clear all of the rooms I have on the ship for the purposes of my business transactions.
Maybe so. Once word gets out there, hey, you're under investigation as a smuggler, and this is a smuggling ship. I don't know how good that's gonna be for your business. I mean,
He's-
I've dealt with your kind before, and I've been on ships before that they smuggled things in and out. After all, I was going on these ships for certain spices and ingredients
He stops
before
at
I
the
joined.
elevator and kind of just
I'm just saying,
leans up.
reputation is everything. Sorry.
He leans up against one of the walls, displaying the wanted posters, and he's just like, "I'm sorry, is my image on one of these? Because I could
Um,
have sworn that my word as a businessman is going to carry much more weight than that of
yeah,
a
yeah, but
wanted.
I'm a I'm a
What
criminal.
does this say? A murderer? Oh wow, that's a
Murderer and a criminal, and you're here working with us. I can easily say that you're part of our smuggling chain and everything. You just don't realize how this is going to play out for you having a bad reputation out in the galaxy.
sure. We'll take our chances then.
No,
The
you really
and
don't understand.
the elevator
I've dealt
digs
with
open.
pirates. They're nothing like the pirates I've dealt with.
He gets in and he turns around and he smiles at you. He's like, "Son, I'm nothing like a pirate.
No,
Pirates
they're
wish they
actually
could be like me."
no, they don't. I mean, you're too fancy. I don't even think you have the guts to pull the trigger yourself.
Pirates at least have loyalty to family and loved ones.
I love this whole discussion we're having. But to be family, you actually have to be present in people's lives, Silas.
You're the one that ran away.
Did you ever come
I
looking?
was a kid. I was a kid.
Did you ever come looking?
I was a child.
And now you're a doctor.
And now you're a criminal.
And to answer your question, Mr. Grilled, you see him pull one of the sidearms from the soldiers that are with him, and he shoots Dr. Shakti. I do have the backbone to pull the trigger. And this is where we'll pick up the next episode. I want to thank everybody for tuning in tonight. And as always, please, if you haven't gotten your vaccine, get your vaccine. If you feel like you still have to keep your distance and wash your hands and wear your masks in public or in private spaces or in kind of packed locations, please do. We're still not out of the woods yet, and there are several people that are making it very difficult for us to ever kind of think about getting out of the woods. And as always, if you are watching live on Twitch, I'm putting up some helpline phone numbers because mental health is a serious issue. And if you are not in the United States, I'm also putting up a link so that you can find any help in your area because, like I said, mental health should not be hidden behind taboo or stigma of somebody else can get to it or somebody else is better trained for it. I think that we need to take the initiative to kind of help each other out. I know that as somebody who depended on their friends to kind of recharge their batteries, I have had some dark times during this whole year and a half that we've been away from each other. And I think that being somebody's kind of reach, being somebody's kind of not anchor, but somebody's kind of harbor in the storm is such a fantastic feeling to have. And if you are a friend or family member, somebody that's usually a strong or happy-go-lucky personality, please reach out to them because you never know what a hello or a how are you can definitely change the trajectory of somebody's life. It's leagues that do a lot of good for a very small effort. So please reach out to your friends and family. If you are somebody that needs help, don't be afraid to reach out to friends and family. Like I would rather hear you complain than hear about your loss. So please, as always, take care of yourselves. Tomorrow I will see you again for our Dungeons and Dragons second episode. And if not, I will see you on Monday for our Camarilla chapter of our Vampire the Masquerade game. And if not, I will see you next week for our Friday Star Wars Out in the Dark. And if you want to see me be a werewolf at McStabber Studios every Tuesday currently, I'll be running a Red Talon Philodox. So if you want to see that, I definitely tell you to check that out. Go to their page, give them a follow, check out the VODs, or go to their YouTube page and see the episodes. But as always, please take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and I will see you when I see you.